The opportunity here to lead this team. This is a league of incredibly difficult situations, decisions, and I just have the utmost respect for Dabes and what he's done for me, not only as a friend but as a coach. Give me an opportunity here to be an offensive coordinator, and so I just wanted my thoughts were with him and his family, and I just appreciate things he's done for me, and I've learned a lot from him. In terms of where we're at right now, I'm excited to lead this group. Focusing each day, taking kind of just one step at a time with the players and the coaches and getting organized. But, I'm excited and looking forward to the challenge. Just a couple things I would say is, first and foremost, I'm going to make Tim Kelly our offensive coordinator. Really smart coach. He'll help us tie in the run game, the pass game. Does a great job with a lot of good experiences to bank on. We're also going to put Jameis Winston as our starting quarterback, and he'll do a great job. I have a lot of confidence in Jameis, have a lot of confidence in Russ, and he'll be the backup as Jackson works through the concussion protocol. I think our players are pros, right? They're pros. So my job is to get them in the best position to be successful and work through the week here and continue to make adjustments with the staff as we're continue to prep for Green Bay, which is the most important thing. So really taking our time, making sure we, cross our T's, dot our I's, and put together a great plan for the players, because that's really, at the end of the day, those are the guys that have been on my mind the last 48 hours. So, again, I'm thankful and appreciative, and now we're back on track, and we got a big task at hand and a big challenge in front of us.
Mike, you alluded to it.
Mike, you still call plays. You say Tim Kelly is the offensive coordinator?
Yes.
Mike, do you think of this as an audition for you?
Listen, I just think my only focus is the players. We need to make sure as a group, as a staff, we come together, put together a great plan, and really just focus on what the most important thing is. That's today. Our practice, our prep, the meetings that we're in, the communication, and then just working through the details of the game plan, because things are going to change, and we got to be able to have some flexibility and adapt to it. So that's been probably our biggest messaging in terms of the coaching staff to the players.
Mike, you alluded to it that Daboll was just so instrumental in giving you the opportunity here as OC. When you first heard that he was being relieved and that you would be the interim, what were those initial emotions and reaction like?
Yeah, I certainly didn't anticipate it, but it was one of those things. They happened in this league, and again, I'm appreciative of what Dave's has done for me as a professional, as a coach, as a person, and getting to understand and know his family, and these things are there's a human element to it too. So I'm very sensitive to that, and I wish him nothing but the best, and we'll continue to stay in touch with him because he's a great friend of mine. So, but there's a time for us in this group to continue to move forward and go enjoy this process and this journey.
What went into Jameis and turning to Jameis?
I think Jameis has done a great job since he's been here. Just like all our quarterback room, I got a lot of trust in that room, being in there all the time. Pretty much every single day since we've been here. But I got a good feel for those guys, and I think Jameis will do a heck of a job. He's a great leader. He has a lot of production in this league, and I think he's going to do a great job leading that group.
What was his reaction when you told him? Because obviously he's been a big part of it.
He's very excited. Yeah. He's very excited for the opportunity, and I think he'll run with it.
I can times people with Russ.
That was your decision to make that change?
Say it again.
That was your decision to make that change? Or?
Yes.
Mike, did anyone else give input on that decision?
No, it was mine.
Mike, do you anticipate any more coaching changes down the pike?
Right now, no. Right now, Tim Kelly's would be the only move. I have a lot of trust in our group and just being around these guys for the last several years. A lot of trust, a lot of confidence, and now we can kind of get together and come together with a great plan for the players.
So Mike, so the confidence level's still pretty high with Shane Bowen on the defensive side of the ball.
Collectively as a unit, and we've met several times over the past couple of days, getting on the same page, the communication, talking about some of just the minor little tweaks that we would do throughout the week to make it more efficient and to clean up some communication stuff. So that would be for us, that's probably the biggest thing is me getting on the same page with them. I'm not, up until this point, haven't been privileged to those conversations. So, getting caught up to speed and communicating what I like and what I like to see, and then them going and doing it.
Mike, on game day, Mike, on game day, you're going to be calling the plays. You're also going to be the head coach. First time, it's a lot. So how do you plan to navigate your game day? You need a right-hand man because you can't do everything.
Yeah, we have a great team upstairs in the box with Ty and Cade doing a great job of communicating that. And just like we talked through it throughout the rest of the week, just going through our plan for how we're going to manage the game, fourth down decisions, timeouts, challenges, all of those things that, we talked throughout the training camp, but now that I'm the decision maker, that will be just kind of ramped up a little bit more. We have to, spend a little bit more time on it, but that's really all it is, just the communication aspect of it and talking through how we want to handle this game particularly. There's a lot of factors that could roll up into it, whether it's the weather, whether it's the time on the clock, timeouts, the opponent you're going against, which is going to be a great challenge.
Understanding that Dart is in the protocol right now, when he does come back, how much of a priority is it with a great ability that he has to extend plays with his legs, to get him to slide and be less injury susceptible?
Yeah, just like you said, Jackson's still in the protocol. I think having a great plan and, again, working in unison with Coach Kelly and our offensive staff and putting together that plan, that way when he is ready to go, that we have a great plan to keep him healthy.
Mike, did you have a conversation what if Jackson's last couple of days have been like? Has he gotten additional evaluation? Where does he stand in the protocol?
Yeah, he's in the middle of it, and I'm to be honest with you, like, I have a lot of trust in our medical staff and our a medical team, and they're taking great care of him. So, each day I get a little bit of an update. He's right on track and right on pace in the program.
Mike, what do you think of the talent of this team that now you're leading into battle?
I really have a lot of belief in this team, and a lot of trust in this team, being around them, how these guys fight in battle. I think, we've just had some things right there at the end that we just got to go grasp and take it. So, just keeping that aggressive mentality, keeping that growth mindset, continuing to learn from these situations, and then when we get another opportunity to capitalize on it, then we got to go do it.
Mike, a lot of times people are thrust into this sort of a role, and maybe they're not ready for it. You've obviously thought about being a head coach for a few off seasons now. What makes you think you're ready for this?
I appreciate that question. Right now, my only focus really, guys, is just on the players. Like I've been thinking about them for the last 48 hours, and I'm sure not every single one of these guys have reacted the same way. So I'm really sensitive to that, and it'd be selfish of me to think anything else but the players. So getting these guys on the same page, getting them a great plan with really decisive calls, a decisive game plan, so they can go and execute it at a high level. That's most important.
Mike, what's the biggest change for you going from offensive coordinator to head coach here?
Sorry?
What's the biggest change for you with this elevation to interim head coach?
Yeah, you certainly have a few more meetings, the scheduling of stuff, and just there's a lot of details that go into it that, you have to make sure you make a good decision on, a well thought out decision, and not just take it for granted. You want to be able to set up the player. It's all built around the guys. How are we getting them to maximize the most amount of football time, the most amount of rest so they can have their bodies to be fresh, and then the most efficient way to get the game plan so they can go out and play. So just as going through it and being with a couple, and, leaning on mentors and leaning on people in my past and putting together a plan and talking with the experts that we have already on the team, what the best way to approach that is, that's, what I've been kind of dealing with the last couple of days.
Personnel-wise, did you expect any other significant changes as you move forward here?
No,
Players-wise.
Player-wise. No, and again, working with Joe, we'll have a good plan in terms of, as we get closer to game day, like working through the injuries and talking about how we want to handle the elevations and stuff. But right now, it's Wednesday. We're working through the beginning parts, the beginning stages of that.
What about practices? Do you anticipate changing or tweaking anything as far as the practice schedule goes?
Yeah, we'll have some minor tweaks. I think one of the most important things I stressed to the players was we're not just going to change stuff to change it for no reason. We're going to have a plan and have an intent on what we want to emphasize that day, whether it's first and second down, whether it's at the end of the game, whether it's our pressure packages or anything that we want to emphasize that week, and it's just communicating with the coaches. And so, yeah, there'll be some minor tweaks and some little things for the players that they'll need to be flexible on. But we have a great staff and we communicate great, starting with LY, who's been doing a great job helping me get organized these last couple days and getting that to the players.
Mike, how did Russ take being quarterback 3 now, and do you expect him to spend the rest of the season here rather than ask to leave?
Yeah, no, Russ is a true pro. Russ is a true pro, and I know he's been through a couple tough things, and listen, the way he responds is unbelievable. I have a ton of respect for Russ, and again, he's probably going to be the backup this week. He's one play away, just like he was last week, and so we need him, and he's a crucial part of our offense. He's a crucial part of our unit and our group and our leadership group. So I'd expect nothing less from him and how he would respond to the news.
Mike, how things changed with
Mike, how have things changed with Russell? Because this was a guy that going into the camp, he was your unquestioned quarterback, taking every first team rep. Somebody that this organization was very adamant on having a lot of football left and believing they had football left, and now he's gone from starter to lost the job to Jackson, and now he's lost the job to Jameis as well.
Yeah, I think those are. I mean, that's a valid question because I love Russ. I love Russ, but it's like I don't want to continue to revisit that. Russ understands the direction we're going moving forward. That's really where our focus is like today and moving forward. And Russ is part of that plan, and his role is defined as the backup, and he's ready to attack that role. We had a good conversation. I'm sure it's wasn't necessarily easy for him, which I understand that human element of it, but Russ is one of the best team players I've ever been around. He's one of the best locker room guys I've ever been around, and I know he'll attack this role with everything he has.
What did Steve Fish and John Mara tell you about the expectations for you now going into the last few games of the season?
Yeah, it was a great conversation. I'll leave it privately between us, but it was a great conversation, and it was cool to kind of talk through a little bit of my plan, and I'll go implement it and put it in place.
Mike, will Jameis be the backup the rest of the year when Jackson's healthy?
We're just gonna. For this week, this is where it's at, and we'll just evaluate it. I think Jackson, he's in the protocol. We'll make that decision and go through it. But right now, we're just going to live in this week and live in just today. I'm trying to just, you get into this role, and there's a lot of things going on. You don't want to get yourself too far overextended into the future. You want to just make sure that we're ready and prepared for today, get the things going, and start getting prepared for the rest of the remainder of this week. And because we have a huge challenge. I understand why you're asking that, but there's some other things that we got to make sure we get accomplished before we get to that point.
That huge challenge in Green Bay.
Mike, what do you hope on 1 o'clock kickoff on Sunday?
Say that again.
What do you hope at 1 o'clock kickoff on Sunday that the fans see from this team that maybe they haven't seen before with you at the helm now?
Yeah, that's great. I think again we are focused on today. And I want to make sure our players understand that. We don't play the game today. So our guys are going to be prepared. Where we're at today is in first, second down. We're talking through the first, second down blitzes, the run game, the pass game. We're talking about what our strengths and weaknesses going into this game are going to be and how we're going to attack the other crew in the Green Bay Packers. So, it's going to be a great challenge. We're just taking it day by day, and I think that's what's most important. Our guys got to live in this moment right now, and then we'll put them again in another plan, and he'll be able to attack that tomorrow.
Mike, what do you think, Mike?
Obviously, it was such a big defensive battle. What did you see in Micah Parsons and that that whole unit that just made the battle in the trenches so intense?
Yeah, it's a great unit. All three phases. They have talented players everywhere. Micah particularly, Gary. Those guys stand out because of the sack production, but their defenses are really they're well coached. They're very aggressive, and they know how to rush the passer, and it's a tough crew. So, I think it's a great challenge for us and our offensive staff. It would be a great challenge for our special teams unit and our defensive units as well. And I think our coaches I know our coaches are doing a hell of a job prepping for this and getting our guys ready.
Mike, on the defensive side.
Go ahead.
Mike, what makes a great head coach in your mind, and how does that compare to the challenge of having to step in as an interim head coach when there's a lot that's already, put in place for you?
I think the best head coaches I've been around are guys that are confident, poised, have a direction, have a plan, and then go execute the plan. And if something goes just a little bit different, then you go back and you adjust. You have flexibility to adjust, accountability, holding guys accountable to the highest standard. If it's not right, fix it. Don't wait and let things just kind of trickle and snowball, right? So you want to be able to do that. Guys that empower players to be their best. And so those are things that I've learned over my past that I think are great qualities in a head coach and things that I try to mirror.